Very well, how are you? Rob, good to see you again.
I know, I was missing it. I was missing you.
You missed the hot weather.
You really mean that?
Of course it is.
Sure.
Sure.
Alright, just to explain the format of this press conference, Gregor will do everything all in, then Jamie will come in and do everything all in again, and then we'll split up into groups where Xander and Blair will do broadcast at the top table, and Richie Gray and Jack Dempsey will be available for written, and we'll do that in the outside.
Who wants to start?
Gary, how easy or difficult that selection was this? And I guess the big talking point is changing the scrum half. Why has Ali got the nod and Ben drops out altogether?
Yes, first one. It's always time consuming, a selection for such an important game, because the players deserve that. And we talk through every position. And the ones that we spent more time on were obviously those that involve changes. And we feel that Ali has played really well during this period and trained very well. He was excellent over in Saint Etienne, very good off the bench against South Africa. And we saw what he's been doing in training in that Romania game, just the accuracy of his pass, his confidence in where he is in terms of taking on defenders, making passes that lead to tries, and that's great. Ali has been a key player for us over the last 10 years, maybe not as long as 10 years, but over the last 6-7 years, and for him to be back in that great, excellent form is a real boost. But I have to say it was a difficult decision, because Ben started for us during the Six Nations. He's a really good player, very confident, very competitive, excellent kicking game, excellent defender. But his form has brought the best, or his sort of rise in terms of what he's came in the last couple of years has brought the best out of Ali recently, and in George. And we see George as someone that has done really well for us off the bench, and he deserves that opportunity again to make a difference this weekend.
What's it going to have to take from all 23 of these guys to beat the best team in the world?
Well, they've got to deliver what we feel they're capable of, which is their best performance as a team when it counts. They're in great physical shape. They've been training really well now for weeks and months, and I believe we've had enough experiences now, good and bad, to handle this occasion, the ups and downs of a test match, the physicality, intensity, and the accuracy that will be needed at the weekend. So yeah, we're really behind this team.
Gregor, how much thought did you give to bringing Chris Harris into the midfield, obviously not in 23, to combat what Ireland did?
Well, I wouldn't say anything to do with combating Ireland. It would be more how we can win the game, and Chris can obviously help us win the game. The way he's played the last two weeks, he's been very determined. He brings his own strengths, which are around work rate, around defence, but he's a strong running centre too, with very good skills. So yeah, he was in the mix, but Hugh's been outstanding for us since he got back into the team at the beginning of the Six Nations. He's a really good relationship with Hugh and Finn, and we felt also with Hugh giving those two opportunities off the bench to get his running game back into the level where we know it has been. We saw that, and we've seen Hugh flying at training this week as well.
You don't go 6-2 on the bench often. You did it in Paris, and probably successfully that day. You did it again the weekend. Could you talk us through the various decisions you had to make there, and why Luke and your Cambridge?
Yeah, well, we feel that the game's going to be one that's hugely physical, and we know how crucial quick ball is to our success and our attack, and to help that, we felt another back rower would bring that freshness, that energy, that aggression that will be required for us to keep producing quick ball, and obviously defensively slow down the opposition ball. And there was obviously a debate around going to 6-2 in the first place, and when we've gone to 6-2 in the past, it's been 2 second rows, and we know the likes of Sam Skinner, Scott Cummings can cover the back row, so that was something we looked at. But we just felt Luke's aggression, both sides of the ball, his performance against Romania was outstanding. He didn't get mentioned that much after the game, but the amount of rucks he hit, the carries, the tough carries he had to do, the 80-minute performance he put in, showed us that he's ready to make a difference. He played very well for us in the Six Nations. In particular in the England game, which is a tough environment to go and play in, and he did what we expected of him, which was to front up physically, bring aggression, and give us quick ball.
Does the 8-point winning margin change anything in terms of your approach, possibly kicking more at goal, any changes at all?
No, I think our approach would be similar if we're looking to just win the game. It may lean to less pressure about having to kick a goal. I think looking to score tries is another thing we have to do this week as well. There's 2 scenarios for us to get through. One is 8 points, another one is scoring 4 tries. So it suits how we would approach normal games, which would be to aim to score tries when we're in the opposition 22. And it's important this week we get those opportunities. Ireland have been very good at not allowing that many 22 opportunities, opposition 22 opportunities over the last 2 or 3 years, and that's a goal for us to make sure we're in there a few times this weekend.
Scotland have been lost at the door for quite some time now, and being contenders, proved off some really big results without maybe not quite put it together in a championship. What makes you believe that this is the moment for that to do that?
Well, why not? The players have performed in massive games before, where we were underdogs. We've broken records before, whether it was not winning in Paris, not winning in Twickenham, not having beaten England for 7 or 8 years. So this is another opportunity for them to break another record. And we believe in them. We believe that where they are mentally, where they are as a group, and where they are physically, they're ready to play their best rugby.
You mentioned that one mentally. I wonder how different the build-up to this is for you as a head coach psychologically, the difference has been building up to this game as opposed to previously.
Yeah, it is different. We're obviously well into the World Cup now. We've had 3 games. We've been used to the atmospheres, the stadiums, the opposition. So it's not new for us. It's a game against a team we know very well. We know their players very well. Playing against them in the URC and in Europe, and obviously playing them once a year in the Six Nations. So the unique newness of the situation is not the primary concern of what maybe that first game was against South Africa in Marseille. We've also learned from that game too. We didn't deliver our best game. There were still opportunities there for us to score a couple of tries in that first half, and I was really pleased with our physicality, how we won the momentum back in that first half, but we didn't deliver our best performance that made us go on to win the game. So we've learned from that. You learn from the times when you've done really well and won in big games, won away from home, but also those moments where you didn't deliver mentally, tactically, whatever it was, you learn. And this team certainly learned from that opening game, and they'll be stronger for it.
I've heard some suggestions that because of what's needed, the pressure is off Scotland a little bit. Do you buy that?
The pressure of sport is always there. No one knows who's going to win the game at kick-off. Anything can happen. It's about adapting to situations, about keeping your focus when things are going really well, to keep on going well, but also to make sure you're back on track as a team when things aren't going your way, because you can get the momentum back, you can change your scoreline very quickly. And I know this team can do that. and we have done that. And regarding the scenario, well, we definitely want to be the team that's going out there fearless with nothing to lose. So yeah, that's the way we've been thinking and planning this week.
Yeah, Ali's speaking to the start of the he's matured in the last couple of years in terms of coping with disappointment and other people challenging him. So how do you see that journey that he's been on?
Yeah, look, I think he's been an excellent supporter to Ben when he was on the bench for Ben this year, and went about his work to bring the best out of him and to help Ben whenever was required. The three nines have worked really well this campaign, bringing the best out of each other. Ali took the disappointment of not being in the 23 for the first two games of the Six Nation and turned that into wanting to make a difference, wanting to work on his game, and he came back strongly. Was involved in the last three games, has been involved in a couple of key games for us leading up to today, leading up to Saturday. So yeah, although I'm very proud that he's been able to do that, but he's also been a really good teammate, and that's a credit to him.
Was you instigated? Was that
Yes. Yeah, that's probably our best performance over the last 5 or 6 games. The second half of the game, Murrayfield the week before was very good as well, and there was obviously a lot of positive to come out of the last 2 games. Yeah, no, I thought he played really well off the bench against South Africa too. Almost created a try for Blair, was physical in defence. Definitely had a spark. The Romania game just showed when we're able to get quick ball, what an excellent scrum half he is. So he's one of the best passes in the game. Had a couple of nice kicks and also taking on the fringe defence. So yeah, we've seen that in training. So it was great to see that transferred into a game. It's not so much a better fit with Finn. We just feel that Ali's in the best form out of the 3 nines. Yes, he's played a lot of rugby with Finn, but all the nines know that to help our attack, you've got to be accurate with your passing. You've got to get that ball into Finn's hands quickly, and Finn's got to get the ball into other people's hands quickly for us to be our most effective. And Ali's done that in the past. Ben did that well in the Six Nations. It's now Ali's opportunity to do that again from the start. Well, it's hypothetical, so I'm not going to answer that.
Just on the 8 points, you go into the game almost thinking you're 8 points down at the start, but then you wait for the 70th minute to score the goal.
We'll see. Obviously, there's 2 scenarios for us to get through, and let's just see how the game goes. If it's a tight game and the defences are on top, then it's likely to be the 8 points gives us the best opportunity. But if it's an open game and there's more tries scored for both teams, but particular it will have to work for us, then I think it's 4 points, maybe 5 points we'll have to win by. So the players will be very aware of that, but we're not going to talk about it too much before the game. The most important thing is getting our process right. What we do in set piece, what we do at the breakdown, how hard we work off the ball, how well we defend. All those are really important elements, the most important elements of us scoring points. If things do change and go in our favour, then we've got plenty of time to talk about at half-time and huddles during the second half.
Yeah, but this time going to final stages, do you plan to communicate with the players on the pitch, or do you leave that up to them?
We'll see. No, we're able to communicate to people on the sideline, whether they're medics or water carriers, but you want to create an environment that the players are making the decision. We've got some very intelligent rugby players, intelligent people as well, as I see Jamie and Richie at the side there. So they won't need instruction from us. They'll be coming together and nailing what needs to be done in that next action, the next 5 minutes.
You weren't intending to talk Ben Keelan on the bench?
Yeah, that was a consideration. Yep, 5-3, Ben would have been a strong contender to be in the three back subs. He's been excellent throughout this whole campaign, from our training to our games. Thought he was very good the other night, and we know that having another 10 on the bench could be a positive if we were to pick up an injury at 10. But we obviously don't want that scenario to occur, and we believe in Finn that he's going to play well and he'll be on till the 80th minute.
You need to drop goal.
Finn?
You didn't seem very confident.
He looked quite good yesterday at training, knocking them over. So you've obviously inspired him to get out there and practice. Finn, Blair King on, who knows? But look, these are all hypotheticals. The most important thing is we work hard for every point that we can earn, every opportunity we get into the 22, and we go out and take them.
Gregor, does the road game fail to win this fixture at Hamilton Park play? Is it something that needs to be addressed? Is there something you guys do mentally with the players to address that, or is it just completely?
No, I don't think we address the run of games. I think we address, and we already have addressed the challenge this week of playing such a good team as Ireland, and what this could mean if we brought our best rugby. That's the biggest challenge. What's in the past is in the past. But if anything, we know those past results show what a good team Ireland are. They're number one in the world. We've not been able to beat them for a while, so that means it gets our focus even narrower on us delivering our best performance to win.
Just ask you to mention Blair King on. You lost Stuart Hogg during the summer, and he's just slotted brilliantly in his 50th cap for the weekend. Just talk a little bit about specifically what he gives you full back.
What he gives us at fullback, well, he's a great outlet for Finn. They've built a really good relationship since the summer. Saw it developing in the Six Nations when Blair came off the bench on 3 occasions. But he's someone that runs really good lines. Finn's got an excellent wide pass. Blair's able to pick those passes up. He's a really good rugby player, so he understands defence. He's got very good skill set. His passing off either hand is outstanding. Really good kicking game. Probably his best asset is his athleticism, his physical ability, and that is seen more in the fullback role. Stuart Hogg had outstanding physical attributes. He could easily have played 10 for his career, Stuart Hogg, because he had outstanding basic skills like Blair, but he got the best out of his career going to fullback, and we've seen that with Blair too. So we want the likes of Blair, Duan, Darcy, Hugh, Sione touching the ball as much as possible, because they are excellent when they get the ball in their hands. And we've got a 10 and a 12 that can get those balls to those wide channels and also be running threats themselves. So it's exciting seeing Blair out there. The way he's trained this week, he's in great shape, and it'll be brilliant to see him going out for his 50th cap. Yeah, like, it's I suppose good from a coaching perspective that players that are in great form are left out. It's not great from a player perspective, but Kyle's done all he could to put pressure on the 2 starters on the wing. Kyle played in the Six Nations. Kyle played really well over in Saint Etienne. He's played really well in this tournament, and there was a challenge for Darcy. Kyle started against Tonga, and Darcy has responded to that challenge. He trained really, really well, and then both in the Tonga and the Romania game, he's been back to his best level. And Darcy didn't have the smoothest of campaigns. He picked up an injury that meant he was touch and go for the start of the tournament. Missed out in playing over in Saint Etienne and against Georgia. but it's been great to see him back to his best. I think the way he combines with Duan, it's a different threat. Blair's a different threat as well. But probably the thing we love the most about Darcy is his ability to get on ball. He got 21 carries the other night, which isn't the ball going to him, that's him getting on ball and making good things happen when he does get on ball.
Safe to say you see this as your biggest challenge in Scotland?
Yeah, number one team in the world. You don't often get to play the number one team in the world. We don't go on tours as much now to the likes of New Zealand or South Africa. But we're getting to play them this weekend, and then it's a game that means whoever the result doesn't go their way is out the World Cup. So yeah, it's a brilliant game to be involved in, and one of the biggest we've been involved in.
What was your impression about this performance against South Africa in particular?
Yeah, I think their ability to stay in the fight was the thing that stood out the most. It was a really physical game from both sets of players, and it was a great atmosphere. And we expect the same this weekend. There's been so many Scots at the last two games. I know there was a lot of Irish in Paris for that game against South Africa, so it'll be a cracking atmosphere. And there's jeopardy. There's something at stake. So it'll be one of the best games of the World Cup, I'm sure.
Okay, thank you.
Thank you, guys.
Okay.